But it's back up on the lift for a couple of reasons. First of all, I want to do a coolant change because I've just got water in it now, so it couldn't run. And secondly is my welder friend is coming back to do some welding. I've started questioning whether I should just buy another shell, but there's a few nice ones, or a couple of nice ones, one of which is a couple of grand. But if I spend that on this, at least I know it'd be right. If I get another one, and when I actually strip it down, it's hiding some horrors, you know, I'm not going to be in any better position. So I think we're going to plough on. I have got 2 new rear arches for it down there. That's a BRM wing. And this is obviously where the main problem is, because these rear arches are a bit fucked. Obviously down where it meets the sill, but thankfully the repair bit comes down to about here. Now the sill isn't that great. It's obviously been jacked up in the wrong places in the past, and here has started to go. So I think we're going to need some seals on it as well. So over the other side is the same. This has started to go. This has just had a patch put in it, but obviously this rear arch has been replaced as well, and again it comes down to here, so it will remove this. This seal isn't as bad, although it has been crushed up and it is starting to have surface rust, so I think we're going to need 2 seals. Also, rear panel. I'm about to take the rear bumper off to get to the arches, and you can see the rear panel is going as well, and the inner. So we'll have to get this rear panel off and see how bad that is. So we have got some welding to do. And also, which you can't see at the moment, the roof at the back has a couple of holes in. But I have cut off from another good car, you can see it up there, the red bit, another roof, back of a roof basically. So we'll see what he thinks about that. Again, it was still up on another shell, but like I said, I could end up being in a similar position, having to have it all done anyway, so what's the point? Might as well make sure this shell is good. Floor pans are fine, other than the sills obviously we mentioned, but the floors are all clean, so I'm not too worried about them. So let's get cracking, get the bumper off and see where we're at. Right, I'm having a wander around looking at it, and I'm on the fence. Do I repair this shell or do I find another one? Problem is, what's another one hiding? Right, so this one needs inner and outer arch. Obviously it's got holes in it. It's obviously all gone up there. Got the outer arches already. That's what was supposed to have been done, but obviously I can see the inner archer is now knackered. The arch comes down and covers this bit of seal, so that's not so bad. But I will have to get another seal for the front up here, and God knows what's behind. The rear panel, as you can see, well, the boot floor there, along the rear inner panel, is all gone. The boot floor's gone. Same with this arch. I mean, we know that's gone, that plate. So I'd imagine the inner arch is going to be gone as well, probably. I've got a hole there, I don't know if that's supposed to be there. But this inner arch has been repaired on the inside anyway, so to be fair, that could do with a new one of those. Again, the seal, as I say, the arch covers that back bit of seal anyway, but because it's been jacked up poorly in the past, it's all bent up anyway. Quite a bit of surface on it. The front end ain't too bad, because obviously we've done most of this. This is all clean and tidy in here. We've got no problems. It's just back here. And obviously, as well as that inner panel, the outer panel is toast as well. So my question is, if I buy another shell, who's to say that it's not going to be hiding rot as well, and it's going to need doing? So do I just bite the bullet and go for it? Part of me thinks I could have the whole rear boot floor cut out, including the inner arches, have the whole lot taken away, get rid of this spare wheel well, and have a flat bottom, we'll obviously have to make strengthening things to hold up the suspension cans. And obviously mount the bump stops. Sorry for the cobwebs, this has been parked up for a long time. Where the actual rear beam mounts doesn't look too bad. It all looks fairly good in there, but I suppose once the seal comes off, we'll see a bit more. So what do? Questions. Well, that escalated quickly. Rear beam's off. Tank's out. Now, I'm thinking we should cut the whole boot floor out. Well, the panel, maybe not the strengthening bits, but the whole rear floor top panel. But I'll let Mr. Fabricator come and decide what he wants to do. Whether he says no, I don't want to touch it, in which case it will probably get binned. Should have probably done the shell before I concentrate on the front end, but at least that unbolts and can go in something else. It's not the end of the world. Now, moving on. So, do you want to tell us what's happening here then, Mikey? What have you named this? How long are we having a pause?
Put that on YouTube.
I can't put that on YouTube.
Project Rust.
So, is it bad?
I've seen better vehicles.
Is that you being very polite?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not good.
No. This morning it was just a point of whether to scrap it or do something with it. So scrap was taken off the table, but
Not yet.
not yet. Okay. It was temporarily removed from the table, but it still might come back yet. We shall see. Well, it seems to have escalated quite quickly. There's a lot of work that needs to be done in here. The floor's got to be cut out, the arches have got to be cut out, it's all got to be replaced. The rear axle mountings are all starting to rot on the inner sills. So we've hatched a plan. Another MGF subframe, which means we could move the engine to the back or have two. Here we go then. That was a very slow but graceful drop. Well, the morning after the day before, and realisation of what's happening is kicking in. So, floor's been cut out. An MGTF engine subframe has gone in, well, not gone in, it's in position, using a bit of racking to hold it in place while he makes up Mounts, I don't think you can see that because of the light. Mounts picking up on the original rear beam mount. And then obviously once that's in, we'll fabricate something at the back here, as well as changing these panels. So there you go. It's on its way. Just got to wait for him to come back and carry on now. Right, so today I'm going to have a day on the Metro. Probably not what you're expecting, but I'll get it moved about and I will tell you what's happening. Right then, so it is on the ramp. Well, not on it yet, but you know what I mean. The engine's coming out. That's not to say the project is cancelled. What it basically means is it's going to be a while till this is done. I say done, I mean anywhere near running. So, as you saw earlier, I know it's full of junk, we have an MGTF subframe currently residing in the back. Roughly, yes, just in position to see what we need to do. So that means there's room for an engine in the back. So, rear engined, twin engined, who knows? Now, we need a turbo engine and gearbox and paraphernalia situated on that subframe to make the firewall. Now, I've got the MG6 engine on a pallet, but I haven't got a gearbox at the moment. And yeah, so I can't really put it in without the gearbox. So, the MG6 turbo engine was going to go in the BRM. But what I've decided for now is, this one's coming out. It's got all the loom. Well, say all the loom. It needs the plugs changing at the end, I think. But it's got BRM gearbox. It's got, you know, everything I kind of need to go in the BRM. So, this is coming out. It's going in the BRM. So I'll have a turbo BRM. Obviously the ECU I've got for this is remapped with a K-Maps 200 brake ECU. And then what I'll do, once the engine and gearbox comes out the BRM, I will then have another gearbox to bolt to the side of the MG6 engine. And then that can all go in the back of here and stuff can be fabricated. Now, I could take this one out and just put it straight in the back. That is an option, but I want to turbocharge the BRM. It's got a water leak from somewhere, so it's either head gasket or it's, no, don't laugh because I said head gasket, or it's got a leak somewhere. I've got to try and find it, so I might as well, I've always wanted to turbo it anyway, or buy another shell and turbocharge that, but how many cars can one person have? So, this is coming out, it's going in the BRM. I've just got to get the loom sorted out, everything else is there. And then that project can be sort of on the road, pretty sharpish. And then I can get that off the shelf, put the BRM gearbox on, and put it in the back. Now I'll take the whole subframe off this, the whole rolling subframe, and lift the engine and box out. And then I'll put the subframe back underneath it so it can roll. And obviously I've had it all powder coated. It's got all brand new suspension on it. So even if I just go rear engine, at least I've still got a new subframe on the front that does all the steering and everything to put back on here. but this does need a lot of work, as you've seen earlier in the video. Now, obviously, as I say, earlier in the video, that was a long time. It's been sat for a while now. You've probably seen other videos. For money reasons, because obviously Mikey, my welder, looks after me, but it's still a lot of money every day. And to spend it out and not earn it at the moment is a bit difficult. So, as I say, we also needed an engine in the back before we could carry on, really. So this is the best way, I think. That engine can come out, go in the BRM, and then that's on the road, or back on the road. And the VVC out of that can go back on the shelf and be kept, because obviously it's an original engine to the car, so I don't really want to get rid of it. And then, yeah, we'll get this back rolling again. We can put it back in storage until the time comes to spend some money on it. So I hope that all made sense. I hope it wasn't waffling. But anyway, I will crack on getting this out. Okay, so we're separated. The engine is off the subframe, so the subframe can now go back in the car, and then at least it will be a roller. And then we'll stick that on a pallet and wait for the BRM to come in. Well, she's back rolling again. So this can now go in the barn and be put away until we can get her out to doing something with it again. If we do something with it again. I want to get it done. It just might not be just yet. So I'll leave this one here, and I'll go and put this away in the shed.